The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Yeah. NY born, NY built.
What is up, yo?
Vanilla
Happy
Gorilla,
Sunday,
Big Dog,
another Sunday
Untouchables.
with
Let's
your
go.
favorite
Step in the
hostess
ring like kings
with
of the block.
mostest.
Gorilla grip, Big Dog, never stop. Iron in the veins, no gimmicks, no props. This is hard work, black top and body slops. Ain't no flash, just fists and fake. We run through ropes like we run through
It
gates.
can't be. This is crazy.
Bond ain't fake. You hear that roar? That's the
And if
Empire
nobody at
Shake.
home knows who
We
this
the
guy is, this is the Big Dog. And he did get a tip from the Brooklyn Prodigies earlier on that they had travel issues, but not due to them being scared or anything like that. But oh my gosh, the Vanilla Gorilla and the Big Dog and the Untouchables just inserted themselves into this tag team.
elbows harder than a steel trash can. One shot, knock 'em flat on sight. Two beats bred for the spotlight fight. They can talk tough, bark loud all night, but in the ring, we bite and we bite right. We are untouchables, NY bred. Two fists swinging, leave legends dead. Joey bring the rage, Dave bring the brain. Together we storm like a runaway train. Untouchable, New York style. We don't tap, we make 'em snap. We don't tap, we make 'em snap.
What is up? What is up, everybody? It is me, your favorite. There we go. Is that working? Are we on? Hold on. There we go. What up, everybody? It's me, your favorite co-host of this podcast, the Vanilla Gorilla. He will be here. He's just running a little behind this morning, but we are here. We are live. Hope you guys enjoyed our interview with Chamoli last week. That was a good show. That was fun. That was fun to record and learn about. So we are here today. We are going to talk about a few different things here and there, but we are going to get to our guests as well. Some housekeeping real quick. We have next week is Cayman Cigar Company. After that is Haram Solomon Cigars. And we are working on getting April booked out for you guys, but that's who we got coming up. So stay tuned for those episodes. I think those are going to be fun. Also, we are going to be doing another giveaway. I don't know when, but that will be coming soon. And if you read the description, we also have some wrestling to talk about at some point. ACW Awesome Championship Wrestling live from Poughkeepsie. Had their show last night. Was a top-notch show. Fantastic show. Loved every bit of it from start to finish. It was a stellar card. You main evented with the Now, the Righteous, the Hardys, and Sent to Slaughter. You had the triple threat for the heavyweight title, which was won by Killer Cross. You had the women's triple threat match, which was won by the returning first match in 2 years, Steph DeLander. I mean, that card was phenomenal. If you got Triller TV, go watch it. Go take the time out of your day to do it because it's worth it. AAA was the Raid de Reyes last night. I didn't watch it all, but that's okay. Big announcement for AAA is at Triplemania, you have the Lucha Brothers reuniting and coming back together in Mexico for the first time in a few years. So that would be very, very interesting. But our guests are here. So let's get into that and bring them on and kind of let them talk about their cigar and the, returning guests. Obviously, we've had them on before, but this is with their new cigar. And I will let them talk about it and tell you about it and all the fun stuff you guys want to know.
The interview of the week
is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
And here we go. Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Well, living the dream as always. Another fun, cold day here.
Yeah, it looks it. You're all bundled up.
Well, I have it just in case I have to open the window in this room. It's like 30 or 40 degrees out, but the wind the last few days has been insane. Like I had my windows closed and I could hear it through the windows. So I was like, let me just grab a sweatshirt in case. And we went from 70s last week, 60s and 70s last week to back down into the 30s and 40s this week.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been this past week. It's been pretty warm. We're actually down into South Florida. We went to Blairsville, Georgia. Immediately headed down to South Florida. So the weather was amazing down there. And now it's warm today, but it's going to start getting down to the 30s. So,
wow,
we'll be right up there with you. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
weather's crazy. It's very bipolar.
I hate it. I can't stand it sometimes. I swear. Because it's like 1 minute I was going to work in the morning in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, and then I was coming home and going back out in the afternoon to go back to work in shorts and a t-shirt.
Oh man. Yeah.
For like almost all of last week. It was crazy. So let's get into this cigar, because I've been waiting to smoke this one. I won't lie to you. I've heard great things about it. I've heard some very good things about this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're excited. It's a great blend. A lot of the blends that we came up with Ish, they're just going to keep it getting better and better. But this one is the kickoff to our second core line. We've said it in the past, and I'm sure everybody else has heard it. We wanted to kind of think outside the box and go a little different, and this is going in that direction. This core line, the entire core line is going to go in that direction. We got a lot of exotic tobacco, working with Ish, Ish. I mean, that guy can get his hands pretty much on everything and anything. So, yeah,
it's insane.
It is. It's just it's out of this world. But this one, the Mange de Mod, which translates into Brothers of the Sea, we sat down with him, I want to say about a year ago or so, almost a year. And we sat down with him and we told him, my brother and I told him, hey, this is what we want the cigar to taste like. And he just laughed it off like that was no challenge. And so we wanted to mimic this cigar to a pastry that my brother and I used to eat as kids back in Portugal. And he nailed it. I mean, there's a lot of notes in this cigar that you definitely, if you've had that pastry in the past, you're definitely tasting those notes. And so we got a Brazilian Apiraca wrapper with a Portuguese binder, and then the fill is Zimbabwe, Nicaragua, and Spanish from the Canary Islands. So it really it's different for sure. And I've never had Zimbabwe tobacco. I don't think any of us have, but
not that I can remember.
Yeah, me neither. And not that I've been told anyway. But it's a great cigar. We released it in January 13th of this year, and it's just been flying off the shelves. So we've been happy about that.
That's got an interesting light up. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I like the one that you're smoking there was actually the samples. We ordered.
Really? Okay.
And that's not even the final band. So that was just like a mock band. it's pretty close to what you have, but this one is you can tell
It's got more of the metallic to it.
Yeah, green and gold.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, and it's just, I mean, we can't say enough about it. We had, I think it was probably about 100 samples that were sent out to us, and we kind of sent them out to a few podcasts, a lot of the lounges, and everybody started raving about it, and we were pretty pumped. We were pretty excited after getting everybody's feedback from it. But we just have to do a few tweaks to the band and to the cigar, and here we are.
It's got a nice sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a nice slight sweetness, and then you get that like bite on the retro, and it sits it hits your palate just perfectly.
Yeah,
and it's not an overpowering peppery taste or an overpowering, leathery note or earthy note. It all sits like perfectly made together. Obviously, that's a testament to you guys blending it with Ish, who knows exactly how the flavors are supposed to, or the notes, flavors, whatever you want to call it, are supposed to coexist inside the cigar.
Yeah. I tell you what, we learned quite a bit sitting down with him blending the cigars. And even this past weekend, him and I got together. We went down and did an event with him down in South Florida, and just rolling with him for a few hours, I picked up on a few more things. Exactly where to place the leaves, how to twist the leaves, how to spin the leaves,
Yep.
And then how to roll them. And we sat down and he rolled 2 cigars with 2 different leaves, just 2 leaves, and it was a completely different cigar.
It is.
It's just amazing.
And sometimes with like samples that even people have sent us to try for their their blend or stuff we did for us at one time, you don't realize, like you said, how much just placing one leaf differently changes the entire cigar.
Mm-hmm.
That one placement, if that top leaf might need to go in the middle and it's a completely different cigar, and that might be what you're looking for.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, so that with this core line that we got coming out, it's there's gonna be a lot of unique tobacco, unique flavors. This one here, you're gonna get the bready taste, sweet taste. You're gonna get towards the final third, it's when it starts ramping up, you're gonna start getting cinnamon towards the end.
Okay.
Slight pepper, nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's not overpowering at all.
No. And I love the retro, and I can probably retro this whole entire cigar and not get blasted,
Mm-hmm. I'm like you. I like to retro. Once I finally learned how to do it, I never realized how much I was missing on a lot of cigars by not retroing the whole cigar, or throughout the cigar, I should say. And I like when I retro a cigar and the pepper kind of punches me in the face. But then I also like the ones like this, where I can retro it and it's not overpowering, but it's still there enough to let you know that it's there, but it's also not going to kill you if you keep retrohaling the cigar itself.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I mean, we were driving back from South Florida, and I was having a cigar, and that bad boy made me, I couldn't stop sneezing. I mean, it was.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
It just sits there and you're like, you're trying to smoke and you sound like all clogged up and congested.
Yeah.
When it's really just the fact that all the pepper is sitting in your nose.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I can't stand that. That annoys me to no end.
Who's that, Henry?
Here. He's here. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, my brother?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I had to run out to the store with the wife.
I hear you. Got to do the honey-do list.
When she says we got to go, we got to go.
That's it.
So now, I know you told Joey
So what he was saying is what we're smoking is samples.
Okay.
Because he's got the other one right there that shows, you know, the band has more of the metallicness to it.
Okay.
But no, that retrohale is fantastic.
So I see you was kind of tied up yesterday down in the Great Smoke.
Yeah, actually, no, we weren't down at the Great Smoke. We went down. We met with Ish, and we did an event in Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
And then we left Friday. We left Friday afternoon, and the rest of those guys stayed down there for the Great Smoke. They looked like they were having a good time. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, they did. So I don't know what Joey covered.
We just started like 10 minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
But I'll tell you what, while you like that, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back, and you can ask whatever questions you want.
All right. Oh, his wife is there too. I didn't even see it.
Staring out, there's a hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen
Year, what is back? I am here. The big dog, the vanilla gorilla, Haze Gray Cigars. So, I didn't know the gentleman on the bottom is your brother. And what is your name, young man?
I was gonna say he's muted.
I'm muted. Pedro, what's going on, man?
Pedro, what's going on, brother? We've had your brother on here a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you, and I didn't even see him up there. My apologies.
No,
So
you good.
tell us how you got into getting into Haze Gray with your brother.
So originally we're from Massachusetts, and I lived up there pretty much my whole life. And I was doing asphalt paving. I would get laid off in the winter, and I would come down to Florida, visit my brother and my parents every winter. And he came back from a cruise, and he just started, talking in my ear about starting his own brand. He started getting into pipe tobacco, smoking it, and then started telling me about cigars. He started looking for a factory. And I just kind of brushed it off. Sometimes my brother has ideas. You know how brothers are. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? And then he started working with a factory, and he started blending a cigar, and he sent me a couple samples, and I was like, damn, you got something going on here. So we started talking. I said, you know what? I came down in the winter. I said, I'm going to sell my house. Let's kick it off. Start it. Let's do it. And that April of 2024, April 1st, he launched. He started doing it by himself for a couple months. I was up north, sold my house within 3 months. We just started kicking it off, man. It's been a ride. Definitely a good ride.
So how do you think going from doing paving to getting into cigars? I know what your brother's going to say. How did you like that change of not having to do the labor work?
I still actually do labor work. I do landscaping now for Valerie's brother, actually. So the scheduling works out when I have to get out early and do events and whatnot. So I never was a big aficionado cigar smoker. I never really was. Once my brother started, I'll dabble here and there, like special occasions, I'd smoke when not even know what I'm smoking, right? The Swisher Sweets back in the day, all that stuff. And my brother just started intriguing me, and I started getting into it. And it's like, I smoked Perdomos, Padrones, all the big brands. And to me, it was just like, okay, this is cool, but the flavors just weren't there for me. And then with our cigars, and then getting introduced to more boutique, I just fell in love with it. And the flavor changes that you get, the notes that change through a cigar, the roller coaster rides you can take, the uppercuts you get in spice bombs. I just fell in love with it. So it's like, having the brother that I have, and the love that we just fell in love with the industry and the blending and what you can actually do with certain tobaccos, especially working with Ish now from anywhere in the world. It's a whole new ball game, and I just love it. I fell in love with it. We have a tremendous passion for this.
Ish is a big, and people say, why do you call him an aficionado? I said, because Ish, I can call Ish right now and tell him, yo, jump on with us. And Ish will go, okay, give me 10 minutes. Let me get set up. He'll set up in the pool. He set up in the pool one day with us and was talking to us with Grouchy.
No, he was outside. He wasn't in his pool. He was sitting outside. He did come on in his pool one day, though.
And, it's funny because everybody goes, oh, but, this and that. I said, listen, no matter what cigar you get, you're always going to have one or two out of the pack that's not good. Always. I don't care. It could be Fuente. It could be Perdomo. It could be Rocky Patel. It could be anybody. There's always going to be one cigar that they throw in there that they don't know. They're rolling them. They're putting them away, and they're shipping them out. They don't test every cigar. If they tested every cigar, we never have cigars. But so I'm glad that you're on here with us. We had your brother, we had your sister-in-law, and so now let me ask you this. So this, and I'm sorry if I mess it up. Ramos do Mar. How did you two guys come up with the name for that, and what does that mean for both of you?
Yeah, so we came up with that name. It's going to be the actual name of the core line. And so when we were blending and we were blending with Ish, we wanted to collaborate with them. And the translation is Brothers of the Sea. And so back in the 1700s, even 1500s, Portugal and Spain pretty much dominated the waters. Both countries owned half the world, right? So, so Ish being from Spain, us being from Portugal, we just figured it was fitting to come up with the name and the core line of Brothers of the Sea, being that two countries are next to each other. They navigated together, they sailed together at times, and that's where it came from. Still trying to keep the military theme. This core line, my brother and I both agreed that we want to talk. We've always said that we want to tell our story through our cigars, through the name of our cigars, and this actual core line, where we're going to be able to tell our story of our heritage. But not only that, even through the tobacco. Not so much telling our story through the names, but being able to tell the story through the tobacco as well. Because there's going to be some tobaccos that, or tobacco that we're going to be using in our cigars that has some way of connection with Portugal, right? And so some of the names are going to correlate with with the tobacco that we're going to be using. So that's where we came up with the name and the core line and all the other names that come out.
All right. So now give us, and you know where I'm going with this. So
Maybe.
Shut up. So give us a little more background on how and why you made up this one cigar to add to your core line, please.
Yeah, so we wanted to think outside the box. We wanted to be a little different than other boutique brands that are out there, because I think being different is what helps you at times.
Absolutely.
And so about a year ago, we sat down with Ish. My brother came out of the gate. He's like, man, I want a cigar that tastes kind of like that pastry that we used to have when we were kids. And I was like, man, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if that's possible, right? And so we met with Ish at TPA, and we sat down with him, and he just kind of smirked at us like it wasn't even a challenge. And so next thing you know, we went down to his house, we started blending, and sure enough, man, this cigar has got a lot of the notes from the pastry that we ate when we were kids, even down to our dad would always sprinkle some cinnamon on top of his pastry, and he put it in a microwave for a few seconds, and it added even better flavor to that pastry. Well, my brother and I were talking, we're like, man, if we can get some cinnamon flavor and notes in the cigar, that'd be cool. And right down to the last third, man, you start getting that cinnamon. So it brings a lot of memories back for my brother and I. So yeah, that's where the idea came from. Was just that one pastry, because again, we want to tell our story. We want to express our appreciation for our heritage and whatnot. So that's where it all came about.
Well, I am going to tell you,
that's good.
This cigar here, and I've had 5 of your cigars as per se. This cigar here is a slamming cigar. So if you guys have not picked this up, I don't know if they're out there yet. They might be, they may not be. You got to check it out. Check your local store. Check Ish, Wolfpack. Check them all. But this cigar right here is a slamming cigar, and man, there's a little touch of pepper. There's a little touch of earthiness. There's a little touch of cinnamon, like you said. I mean, it's just outrageous how you can sit home and get your cigars and taste them and not be upset. Just call him back and say, hey, change this, change that. So now let's ask your wife. What do you think of him and his brother doing the cigars, ma'am?
I think that there was a fabulous idea on the two of these fellows to get into this industry because we are having a hell of a time. It's been amazing. We're having fun doing it. We think our cigars are great. We love our cigars. This new line is putting a twist on, our boutique cigar blends. That's going to blow people's minds. So the fact that the two of them have decided to branch out, partner with Ish, and make these tobaccos that have exotic tobaccos that people can't regularly get their hands on, it's just going to take us that next step up, which we're all excited about. So we love this industry. It's amazing. The people that we meet, the people that we connect with on podcasts and when we're traveling, it's been awesome.
So now tell me about you being a wife of two people that make cigars in your family. How it is
this for a minute.
How it is, and what would you like to do for the women in the cigar business?
So it's been good working with the two of them. You would think that, two brothers would have some, what is the word? Some things that they might come up against working together. And Rui and Pedro both work great together. The three of us work great together because we all three put different things in and we have different things to bring to the table. So that's been really good. Here in Pensacola, we've been getting the core line, the cigars, everything going, trying to get that running smoothly, which I think we've done working the last year and a half, 2 years. We've done really well getting that all up and going. I'm doing our lipstick and lighters that we do here locally for our women. So we've got about 30 women that are involved in that, that we meet with once a month. And we have the Vixens lipstick and lighters, which we've just kind of educated women who are getting into the cigar industry because it's becoming a big thing with women. We've educated a group of women here, just teaching them lighting, cutting, cigars, wrappers. Rue's done some rolling events with them, and they've actually rolled their own cigars. So we've been really big on trying to get the women involved in the cigar industry and just educating them on it, which we're going to go more into that as we keep going and build on that as well. So that's been a good thing for us.
Okay. Also, and I know you said you got some women rolling their cigars and stuff. So, Rui, let me ask you and Pedro this. So, do you think with the women and stuff that you got helping you roll in the cigars when they come to the events and stuff, do you think that you're going to have a separate, and I mean, not a separate company, but a separate thing for like women's cigars? Like, you have all Navy stuff. So will you make something in the Navy for women?
We've talked about it at the early stages. We talked about starting a core line just for women, veteran women. But it's something that it's still a blip on the radar. We're so in tune right now with the second core line going. And we're pretty much set for the second core line. I shouldn't say that. I thought we were set. Because we just came out with a blend that was going to be our cut and light cigar only. Like, you're only going to get that cigar at special events, and that damn cigar is so good. And I'm not one, and neither my brother and I are one to boast about ourselves, but this damn cigar, Ish tweaked, he says, to be our cut and light cigar, is now part of our second core line, and we're going to be releasing this cigar beginning of July. And so, like, we thought we were good, right? We were good for the next few years with the core line that we got, and now we can focus on another project and focus on something else, which could be that women's line. But now he threw us a curveball, We had like, instead of having 6 cigars on our core line, now we got 7, right? So it's like, so it's still a blip on the radar. We may do something for the women because the women industry is growing. I mean, the women industry, the women in the industry, the more women smokers the numbers are growing and growing and growing. And we're seeing that with just us working events around town. Valerie with the ladies' night, the lipsticks and lighters, like she's having to put people on waiting lists because the venues that we go to hold these ladies' nights can only hold a certain amount of people. And her first ladies' night, we have probably 2-3 ladies show up, and now it's just growing and growing and growing. So definitely something on the radar to do something for women, but it might be a little while.
I have ideas, but I mean that's something that's going to be like way down the road for women as we just grow, and that the lipstick lighters vixen side of it gets bigger and gets more prominent. But right now we're just trying to hone in on both of our first War Dogs core line and now this core line. So we don't want to put too many irons.
So now, Pedro, I don't know if you're married, you got kids.
Nope.
No 2 married.
2 dogs.
That's it?
That's it, man.
So it's just you?
Just me.
Well, that's actually a good thing, some parts.
Yeah.
So tell me what you would try to do for the women in your cigar line.
Honestly, like, I learned my lesson with women in the cigar industry. You never want to judge a woman on what cigar she smokes. I learned that the hard way in the beginning of the business. Women would come in and I'm like, oh, you want a flavored cigar? We got these sweet cigars. And she's like, I want a full body spice bomb. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. So they've shocked me, like women in the industry. I mean, they smoke it all. So me personally, like the way we're running the business, that's going to be like Valerie's kind of thing, right? Like what she wants to blend. I mean, obviously we'll give pointers, but that's like her thing. And that's what we kind of are pushing for is Valerie to do her thing with the women. She educates them well. And that's where I'm going. Like I like my brother said, I mean, it's definitely been in the air, like right. I was like that. God is like, whoa, and it's great. Don't get me wrong, but that's definitely something that we want to do is involved with the women and getting them into the cigars and teaching them all that etiquette like Valerie does, and not to be, shy or intimidated going into a lounge, walking in there and picking out a cigar and just smoking a cigar and not having an issue, So I'm definitely all about the women in the industry.
So now, Valerie, you said you was doing some lighters and some cutters and stuff. Do you have a lighter and a cutter that you can show the TV land?
Oh no. In our lipstick and lighters women's herf, we taught them, like, we started with like our first cigar line. So we started with the War Dogs line. We started with the Connecticut, the light, and then we moved to the 96, which is a little bit mild. And then we moved them up, or we started with the back with our infused sweet. And then we moved them up all the way to full body. So we worked them through the different cigars that we had from light to full body. So now these women that came in smoking like typical, I mean, there's a lot of women that are into cigars, but women who are just getting into it and wanting to learn typically go to like the infused, the sweet cigars. So we've worked them through that. And then we just did a class with them, teaching them the different cutting methods of a cigar and how to light a cigar. So that's what we were doing with them. And then he just did a class and let them roll their own cigar at one of the nights that we had for the women. So we don't have any cutters and lighters for them. I mean, yes, they want.
That's just the name.
What?
I said that's just the name.
Yes, Lipstick Lighters and Vixens is the name of our women's group, HERF here.
So now, let me ask you this question again. So, being that you're doing that, do you do it at a certain spot, or is it different stores that you go to, or do you do it at Ish's shop down in 10 minutes from his house? How does that work?
We just do it here locally. So we have it's actually a private club that's in town that we've been doing it at. But I'm going to go and take for the year coming up, just to kind of do it at different places around town. So whether it be, we have a cigar lounge that I'm going to set it up with, one of our local cigar lounges, and then just different bars, restaurants, places around town that we can collab with and get events into for the women to meet monthly.
So also, Valerie, I'm going to ask you, when they said, let's start doing stuff with women, and you're going to be the head honcho for it, what was your answer for that?
That was that. Did I start that, or
You started?
I actually started that, and they just said, whatever you want to do, roll with it. So the two of them kind of gave me full leeway to do whatever. And like I said, there's a lot in the works, and there's a lot that my mind has gone all over the place that we can do with it, that we can grow. But it's something that's going to come as we grow as Haze Gray. And there's a lot of things that can be done with it, that we can collab with people and spin off of the lipstick, lighters, and vixens. So it's just as we grow. I mean, it's not something that we want to throw into the mix and rock the boat where we're trying to get everything with Haze Gray running smoothly and flawlessly.
Right.
So right now we're just doing the meetings and the herfs with the ladies locally. But I mean, we've even had people reach out that don't live here in Pensacola that are like, how do I get into this lipstick, lighters, and vixens? Which is great. I want that to happen. And, you know, that's another thing that I have to sit down and wrap my head around to like figure out how we can incorporate things like this with women, which we're also a part of the TPA. So that's another thing. There's many women in the cigar industry that are involved with us in TPA. So that's something that, you know, I can collab with the TPA, and we can do eventually down the road women's events and things like that. So it's really something that we want to grow, that you can just, the sky is the limit on growing things like that for women in the cigar industry. But we're taking it slow, not rushing it, because it's going to be a lot of work on its own.
And a lot of people don't realize, Valerie, and I know this from smoking before my son started smoking 7-8 years ago.
Actually, no. This year makes 10.
10 years ago, my bad.
In 10 days, it'll be 10 years.
So I knew this from when I started smoking in the lounge.
That's crazy.
And people will tell me no, that there's more women smoking cigars than men. And they said, how do you know that? I said, bro, I sit in the lounge and I watch the women that come in. And they go, oh, yeah, they buy Swisher. They buy. I said, no.
Okay. No, they don't.
They buy full body cigars. And it's not one, it's not two. Sometimes it's a box. And, you know, it's funny because they come in, like we were in the lounge one day in Fishkill, and they came in. It was a guy and his wife. And he said to the guy, he goes, what do you want? He goes, I'll have a medium to full. And they go, okay. And they go, and here, let me show you.
No, actually, he smoked I can tell you what he smoked because I remember it. He smoked the Chillin' Moose.
Right. And then they said, what would you like, ma'am? She goes, I want a full body cigar. And I was like, huh?
And then it was the Rocky Patel Edge. I think it was like the darkest one he made.
Right.
The dynamic was completely different of what he smoked and what she smoked, because a lot of times you don't see, at that point, you didn't see a lot of women smoking full body cigars. It was usually the lighter cigars or the flavored ones, like the Javas, the Tabacs, the Tatianas, stuff like that. So when you see that in a lounge, it was like we all kind of just looked at each other and laughed. And then when they left, made the joke of, we know who wears the pants in that relationship. And the whole place started laughing. And it was just, we were just sitting there laughing because it was just, because at that point you didn't see stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's more common for the women to smoke full body cigars.
So now I'm going to ask Pedro and Rui. So where can we find your cigars? Are they all in Florida? Are they just in the stores in Florida? Are they all over? I mean, I know we can get them on the Haze Grade page. I know we can get them from Ish, but where
I know
else
Wolfpack has them.
can we get them besides Wolfpack, Ish, and your store?
Yeah, so we actually don't sell them on our website. That's something that we're working on right now to kind of let people know. We want to really drive the sales to our lounge partners and our e-commerce partners, and let them grow, right, and help them out and support them as much as we can. So right now online, you can go to fatboyscigars.com. And you can go to Wolfpack, and I know Cigar Vault carries a couple of our faces there. And that's online sales. And then we're not just in Florida. I mean, we just picked up a few lounges one in Arizona, one in North Dakota, picked up a lounge in South Carolina, Pennsylvania. I mean, we're spreading out pretty. I mean, we're up in Wisconsin. Georgia, we just did a huge event at Sheepdog in Blairsville, Georgia, about a week ago. And so if people want to go to our website, they can just scroll down to the very bottom of the page where it says authorized retailers, and there's a list of where you can get our cigars.
So you can't get them in New York and New Jersey, am I correct?
Not yet. But if you know a guy, we're always willing to sit down and talk.
Well, I do, but I can't go nowhere because I got to fix my car. It just sits out front. I drive it to the store and come back. But so tell us more about your line, and how'd you come up with all the names for your core line?
Yeah. So again, like our cigars, the names have something to do with. Well, the first core line, really, it has a lot to do with more of my service in the Navy. And so a lot of, the dates, 1982 was the year that my brother and I moved over from Portugal with our parents to Massachusetts. And then the 1996 is the year that I joined the Navy. The Brotherhood, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself, right? When you're in the military, it's a big brotherhood, and even when you get out, it's even a bigger brotherhood, because there's a lot of veterans out there, and we all have the same sick sense of humor, so we kind of tend to stay in our bubble and stick together. So there's the brotherhood, the backpack. That's pretty much it's a sweet cigar. So I love riding. Excuse me, I love riding motorcycles. And normally when you have a hot chick on the back of your bike, you call them a backpack. So that's where that came from. And the Haze Gray is, the term that we have in the Navy. So the names really have something to do, a lot of it with things that I did or was around with the military. And then with the second core line, my brother and I sat down and we really decided, hey man, this is us. It's him and I and Val, and it's, you're a part of it just like I am. And so the second core line is going to have a lot to do with us as kids and things that we're doing in everyday lives. So, yeah, that's pretty much where the names came from. It was just something that correlates with what we did in the military and in life.
So now, I know you said this is the second core line that you guys are going to have. How many cigars do you plan on having in this one? And are there going to be different sizes? Are they all going to be one size?
Well,
how is that going to work?
We thought we were only going to have 2 to start off with. And when we're done with Ish, we walked away with 6 blends. So
wow.
With Ish, God only knows how many cigars we're going to have in this core line, right? And it's like his mind's always going. And the great thing about working with Ish is that he gets our minds going, right? Like one night we were getting ready to go to bed, and I'm watching YouTube, and one of the videos I was watching said something about the top 50 things that you need to know about Massachusetts. Well, one of the top 50 was Massachusetts grows tobacco. It's in the western part of Mass, but they grow tobacco. So I immediately text messaged this, and I was like, how come I'm only finding out now that Massachusetts has got tobacco? And his only response back to me was, "You didn't ask." I was like, "Okay, fair enough, right?" Fair enough. But that got my mind and my brother's mind going on, okay, if they got tobacco in Massachusetts and we didn't know about, what other tobacco's out there that we didn't know about?
Right.
And so it gets our minds going and trying to get our creative minds, flowing. Like, let's look at Timbuktu. Let's see if they got tobacco, So
all the weirdest places you could think of.
Exactly. Like there's a brand out there with Croatian tobacco. How in the hell I never knew Croatia grew tobacco.
I think I know the brand you're talking about too, because I hit that person up and I never got a response back.
Who is it?
What the heck is it
sure
called?
Haze knows.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it, but I know if it's the brand I'm thinking of, I didn't know that until I found out and found that brand scrolling through Instagram somehow.
Yeah.
So what is the weirdest things that you three have noticed? Because I've noticed that I'm just an average Joe Schmuckatelli smoking, tasting everybody's cigars and all of this. What is the weirdest thing that you guys have noticed when you're smoking your cigars?
The weirdest thing?
I think he means like not weirdest. I think you mean like funniest or like coolest thing you guys have noticed, I guess, like since starting your own brand and going to the lounges and stuff like that. I think he means like, what have you noticed people doing with cigars, or
right?
Like, because I've seen not even so much weird, but like when people go to put them out, they put them out like a cigarette. I've seen them smash it and destroy it.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I think for me, I've had we got some stories in our mobile lounge. So we got a 7x12 mobile cigar lounge. It's an enclosed trailer. So we get a lot of people in and out of there. And I had one guy who, grabbed a cigar, Mr. Aficionado, he's smelling the thing. And all of a sudden he just starts licking this thing and chewing on it. He goes to grab our cutter. And I was like, no, hold on. You can't do that, He's like, unless you want to buy that cutter. He's like, oh, what do you mean? I was like, dude, you just slobbered on that, It's somebody else has got to cut their end of their cigar with that. He's like, oh, yeah, right. I'm like, man.
Yeah, that's like a big, I can't stay. We sat in a lounge one day, and the guy bought I think it was a 770 or an 880, something like that, and took it and was like, oh, and then took it out and used the house cutter.
Oh.
And I was just like, and then I went up to buy a cigar, a couple cigars, and the owner was like, "You want me to cut?" I'm like, "Nope, no."
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't want you to cut it for me. I got my own. Thank you." I'm like, "But you need to sanitize that or just buy a new one."
Yeah.
I watched the guy almost deep throat the cigar just to go make sure the cap was moist enough to cut.
Yeah. And what's funny is we hear all these, not here, but we see all these videos of don't be that guy in the cigar lounge etiquette, cigar 101. And you think to yourself, you're like, do people really do that? And then here we are at Cutting Lights, or like my brother said, sitting in our mobile lounge, and people are doing that. And you're like, holy cow, this really is happening, right? Like, and it was so funny. My brother brought that story up because that's the one that I remember the most. And he's actually sugarcoating a little bit because the guy actually turned around and my brother goes, "You're not using our cutter." And the guy goes, "Really?" Like he was shocked that we weren't going to let him use a cutter. My brother goes, "Yeah, really?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go."
He's like, let me just light my cigar, sit back and watch this unfold. Hold on.
Pedro's like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, that is like the biggest, I want to say no. I think that everybody in the cigar industry and community can agree on is do not slobber on the tip of your cigar and then go try to use somebody else's cutter or the house cutter.
Yeah.
So
or
now
they stick it up their nose, like they'll stick it up both sides of their nose. We had a guy that came up and he licked the entire cigar. Like it blows your mind. Like, and then they'll try to pick up a cutter. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
I mean,
At
he
the
like
golf tournament.
Yes, licked the whole thing, and I was just like, "What is happening?"
We did a down here in Pensacola. We have what we call Palafox Market. They closed the road off, the main road where all the shops and stuff are, and then all the vendors and people that make arts and crafts, they come up and set up their booth. Well, we set up our booth. We collaborate with a bar downtown. And my brother was at another event. We've been getting to the point where we're actually having to divide and conquer. Like today, my brother's down at Pensacola Beach. He's going to be doing an event down there, one of the Irish bars. We're going to a whiskey bar here in downtown Pensacola. So we're starting to get to the point where we're double, triple booking, and we're having to divide. So this Friday night, it was just Valerie and I, and this guy comes up, and he's a homeless guy, right? And he's like, "Oh, I love cigars, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Well, here, try this. This one's on us, whatever." Well, all of a sudden, this guy turns around and he starts just slobbering all over the cigar. And I was like, "Oh, damn." I'm looking at him going, he hasn't cut that yet. I'm like, I hope the guy, he just kind of like chews the end off. Oh, no. Oh, no. He turns around, he grabs my cutter right out of my hand and cuts it and tries to hand it back to me. I'm like, that's yours. I'm good.
That's your cutter now. Have a good one.
So,
yeah.
So moral of the story is Rue gave a homeless man a cutter.
Yeah.
Downtown.
So now, Rue, let me ask you this question before Joey gets into his story. And I'll ask you this, and then after you answer, we have to take a break. So let me ask you this question. So when you go to lounges, you're only supposed to cut the tip off. I see some people, like right here where your label is, I see people come and they cut off that much.
Or I've seen completely cut just the cap, like the whole tip part off, and then it's just flat.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this is really good." I'm like, "Bro, you might as well just cut the shit in half because it's not doing anything." No, I said, "Bro, I've been smoking almost 25 years, 30 years. I said, and what you just did is no good."
Mm-hmm. I've seen that, and I was at a lounge not too long ago, and I sat down. I was having a cigar, just checking out the ambiance, checking out the crowd that was coming into the cigar lounge, and like just catty corner to me, a guy sat down, and he did what you said. He chopped the it was practically like the final third in half, right? And I'm going, "Oh man, I can't believe that I did that." Well, as he's smoking it, well, guess what happens? You just cut the cap, you just cut the shoulder off. The cigar is going to start unraveling. And I hear him tell his buddy, "Oh, this cigar is shit. Look at it. It's already unraveling." And I'm like, "Damn, man." I wanted to tell him, like, "Dude, it's because you just cut half the final third off. That's why it's unraveling."
Yeah.
It's not the cigar. It's not the manufacturer. It's not the brand's fault. It's your fault. You don't know how to cut a cigar. But I'm like, no, I'm just going to sit here and keep my mouth shut, mind my own business, and move on. And it kind of makes me, it gets to the point where I get worried, right? Like, man, I don't want people thinking our cigar is trash if somebody goes and cuts it that far down, right? Like it's our brand, it's our name. It's like, just because you didn't know how to cut a cigar, it is what it is. But yeah, it happens.
So on that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Haze Gray Cigars.
About the way I'm feeling, 'cause I'm not sure I'm feeling right. What do you
Yo, we are back. Happy Sunday, happy fun day. We are back. I am the big dog. This is the Vanilla Gorilla, and we are here with Haze Gray Cigars. So, I know you guys got into this when I was out.
This is dude. This cigar is.
I want to know
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What this is made with, and
oh yeah, I forgot you weren't here for that part.
Filler, things like that.
Yeah, no. So it has a Brazilian Apiraca wrapper. It has a Portuguese binder, which, to our knowledge, we're the only ones that have used Portuguese tobacco. And it's from the islands off the coast of Portugal. My brother and I were actually born in the mainland, but the islands are volcanic, so of course it makes great tobacco. And then the filler is Spanish from the Canary Islands, which Canary Islands is unbelievable. I was there when I was in the Navy. Zimbabwe and Nicaraguan, Esteli. So it's got a little bit of like Zimbabwe, like my brother and I were talking about it the other day. Neither him or I have ever had Zimbabwe tobacco.
I've never had it either till just now.
Yeah, or at least like you said earlier, like we haven't been told. If we've had it, we've never been told.
We've never been told, right? But the rest of the rest of the core line that we have, and my hat goes off to my brother because my brother's been real strong-headed and saying, no, we're going to go exotic. We're going to go exotic. So we said, yeah, let's do it. And the rest of the core line is going to have Indonesian, Cameroon, Italy, Ireland. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on. And so, we're dabbling with a few other projects. We're looking at maybe possibly an LE or so, but we'll see.
I was just going to say like a anniversary LE or anything like that you guys are looking at potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're thinking about one for the holidays. We've kind of came up with an idea that we ran it through with Ish, and he was like, heck yeah, like I don't see why not. So it's something that we're playing with right now. As far as, and I don't think I answered the question last time, but as far as this core line, right now we're going to come out with a 6x54, the Toro size.
Okay.
We may go a Robusto, but right now we're just sticking to one size, which is the Toro size.
I feel like this would be a great cigar in a Robusto as well.
So Pedro,
not only a Toro but a Robusto. Have you guys also considered maybe adding like a box press to any of your lines, or is that something
that's another good question.
You haven't played with yet?
Yeah. So there's one blend that my brother really liked and really wants it in a box press, which technically we were going to release it. Was it July that we were planning on releasing it?
It was going to be January of next year.
January next year. So that one still may be released January of 2027. And we box press. At first I wasn't a fan of a box press, but this blend that we got coming out January, I think will be. And I went with my gut and trusted my brother in his decision. And I'm like, yeah, let's go with a box press on this. I think it's going to be a fire. But again, it kind of switched this whole cut and light cigar that now is not going to be a cut and light. Kind of threw a curveball at us, right? An audible, I guess you could say, at the line, and so kind of switched some stuff up. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
And I like the fact you guys did a closed foot with this cigar too.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So the closed foot. It's funny that we were supposed to do pigtail closed foot. Well, the samples that Ish sent down because he lost his cutter, the actual cigar is an open foot, not a closed foot. So everybody that sampled the closed foot was like, oh my God, it's a closed foot. It's great. And we're like, newsflash, it's not a closed foot. But the thing is, it's not a closed foot, but it's even better. It's better than the closed foot. So everything happens.
you came up with with your box press? Tell us what turned you on to wanting to smoke a box press.
I like box press. That blend there, I said right off the rip, I was like, man, this in a box press would just be fire. And it's totally like it said it. He goes, I would definitely do that in a box press, 100%. And that made me feel even better, right? Like, damn, like that's good. Like I feel good about it. The countries it has in it, the flavor notes it has, it just belongs in a box press. You're gonna get some good little roller coaster rides with that thing. Size wise, like my brother said, like the Toro, pretty much this whole core line, a lot of it's going to be Toro size, one box press, maybe, down the line, we might throw some Robustos in there just to see, the difference. Because sometimes a Robusto is good, flavor wise, it can change. So, but yeah, that box press, and like my brother said, that cutting light that just threw the curveball, it kind of like pushed all the blends we had, 6 months out. Now we got to move them, down the road. So we got to sit down and see when that box press is coming out. But I'm pretty sure it might be January.
Okay, and now do you realize with the box press that, and no one realized this, I think we covered this with your brother, when you smoke a box press, it works out better because you're not smoking it round where you have to.
What it's doing is it leaves the sides of your lips open and it pulls air in as you're smoking the actual cigar, which I didn't know.
Right.
Rick Rodriguez told us that.
We were at an event for West Tampa, and Rick had came and sat with us, and because we became friends with Rick, he came and sat with us and explained the whole story behind the flatheads and how they weren't supposed to be that and why it was this. And I was like, and like with Ish, when you sit down and actually learn these things and have these conversations, it makes your mind start thinking and going and like, why is this way and why is that way? And it's like you finally process it all. It's like, holy shit. Like I just got a whole insight into the side of an industry that I had no idea existed.
And meanwhile, he worked for a cigar company, and they parted ways. But we don't even talk to the guy.
But there's no hard feelings.
There's no hard feelings. I tried to get him on here. He hasn't answered me.
But it is what it is. But
it is what it is. I mean, hey, we don't need you. You need us to help you promote your cigars.
But either way,
and
like
that's what we do. Like we promoted your cigar when you were on the first time, Rui.
I still promote them.
And I always promote your cigars. Shout out to Haze Gray, one of the best cigars.
And I think there was people that actually watched what we did and then went on and ordered your stuff from somebody.
We had Badass Cigar Life order him, and he goes, now I got to try these. These were on the Turnbuckles and Stogies pod, two good friends of mine. And I'm going to try this now. And he lit it and he goes, damn, this shit is so good.
No, that whole core line, I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this core line for sure. After smoking this one, I'm excited to see what else you guys have coming out. Now, I know this was the big one you released this year. Do you have another one coming out this year? Or is it going to be next year is your next release for this line?
Yeah, no. Well, first, thanks for the support, guys. We really appreciate you getting our name out there. You guys are doing a great job with your podcast. I know you guys are very veteran heavy, so that we appreciate that and we appreciate the love. But no, we decided that we were going to come out and maybe a little lot. We've talked to other brands and they were like, "Damn, you guys are coming out with 2 cigars a year? Like, are you serious?" Like. And it kind of makes us second guess ourselves, like, oh, damn, are we doing the right thing, right? Because we're new in the industry. We're young in the industry. But our idea behind that was we want to stay on the forefront of everybody's mind. So we decided we're going to come out with 2 cigars a year. So the next cigar that we're going to come out is going to be sometime between July 4th and July 13th, 14th, somewhere around there. And then we're going to hold off for about 6 months. And in January, we're going to come out with our 3rd cigar.
Which makes sense, and a lot of people that are saying, oh man, you're coming out with 2 cigars a year, I always say that's because the big companies don't do that. They do one and push that for, almost a year before they release another one. And then you got smaller companies that are putting out, one cigar, and then they don't come out with another one for like a year and a half. And then it's, again, but you guys have so much traction, like you said, behind your brand.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're doing 2 a year is keeping you, like you said, on that forefront. So there's a market for your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, and the other thing, and my brother, like, when we all sit down, like, I'm smoking a cigar, but I'm watching my brother the entire time. Right. And Ish jokes about us when we sat down at his house. He called us bobbleheads, especially my brother, because he'll just start nodding his head. He'll just start doing the bobblehead motion. And so when I
a lot.
Yeah. So when I'm smoking, I'm watching him. And if I start seeing his head just so slightly start moving, I'm like, okay, we're good. We're in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm bad because I do the same thing. I'll smoke a cigar that I've never had, and I'll light it and sit there, and I'll just
Yeah.
All right, the light up was good. You
Yeah.
give that like initial nod of approval. Okay, light up is good.
Yep.
And then as you get through it, it's either like it's one of these or it's just
Yeah. No, it really is. It's so funny. And but the thing is, it's like we're so excited for our blends that we just want to share it with everybody. That's the other reason we wanted to come out with two a year, because we were like, hey man, these things are so good. Like, it's like Christmas time, right? When you buy gifts and you give your like, if I give my brother a gift, I'm all giddy. I can't wait to give it to him. Sometimes I give him a Christmas gift before Christmas because I'm so excited to give it to him. It's kind of like that with our cigars. Like, we're so excited about the blends and the flavors and the changes throughout the cigar that we can't control ourselves. So we just want to get them out there. And so that's where the 2 a year came from. Like, let's get it out there. Let's stay on the forefront and let's just share what we got.
And I think the excitement that you guys have behind them too is shows your passion for it and the fact that you love what you do. And I think that translates, through you guys into the cigar and then into the hands of the consumers, the podcasters, the everyday smokers who may not, I say everyday smokers because they'll smoke a $10, $15 cigar every day, and they might buy boxes of your stuff and smoke those every day. They might buy boxes of this one and, use yours for the special occasion or like on the weekends when they can actually sit down and, enjoy and appreciate the cigar.
Yeah.
Because you guys took the time to do it and put it out.
Yeah. No, and you hit it on the head, the passion that we have. I mean, we're on the road. I mean, we are constantly on the road. We went from Blairsville, Georgia. We were home for a couple of days. Then we hit the road down to South Florida, to Milagro. We're there for a couple of days. Now we're home. Today we're doing an event or 2 events here. We're home for a couple of days, and then we turn right around. We get back on the road, and we're heading up to Middlebury, Indiana. And it's tiring. Hell, I slept until 9 o'clock this morning. Like, I was out hard. And but it's the passion. That's what keeps us going. And the biggest thing that keeps us going is the consumers and our partners in the lounges. Like, we get excited to hit the road, and coming home, we're on that initial, like, that high of meeting our consumers, meeting our partners, sitting down after the cut light's over, smoking a cigar with the lounge owners, kicking it back, BSing, meeting the people out on the road. That's what keeps us going, and that's what keeps our passion alive. So it's like we're just totally enjoying the ride and the journey.
That's like this past week. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We hung out with the Misfits, Leaf and Ash, Ish. We were with them all weekend because they're at the Great Smoke. But those are the things that make it worth it. Like the people that we're meeting and then getting to hang out with our other boutique brand people, podcast people. It's an amazing journey all around.
And like you guys said, the passion and the going out, meeting the consumers and stuff like that, that's kind of also what translates into the wrestling side of the podcast with, us going on the road and doing the shows, meeting the fans, going out, like you said, on that high, going out, wrestling, doing our thing, and then going back to the hotel or back home still on that high level. And then you sit down, you have your cigar, you're sitting down with everybody, and you're kind of just, like you said, that unwinding of like we did it, it's over, but you're still excited that it happened.
So now, let me ask this. Dan.
Yeah.
Let me ask this, Rui.
His don't mind him. He's a little slow.
No, I'm answering questions on our Facebook. So, do you know a guy named Danny?
Danny?
Yeah. Danny, I know a guy.
Danny Nippers.
Danny Nippers. You gotta know Danny. Everybody knows Danny. He was hanging out with Room 101 the other day, him and his family. But he smokes your cigars. He loves them. So just so you know, we do get you guys out there. It's not every day, but we always plug everybody that we have on. We've plugged you guys. We've plugged United. We've plugged everybody. So all I want to say is thank you.
Yes.
Take our hats off to you. I wish you guys well in the business. And you know, when you're ready to put out your next cigar, you got my address. Just send us a message. Say, hey, it's on the way.
We love having you guys on, and we love having the, not only our new guests, but our return guests that are releasing new stuff, because we like to showcase a lot of the, obviously we showcase the boutiques, but, we like to showcase what's new out on the market.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And that's why a lot of people like watching us, because, we're just the regular guys who like to hang out and smoke cigars, who just happen to have a podcast and, promote all of the new boutiques that come out if they're willing to come on the show.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And we definitely have some samples already of this Cut and Light cigar. I think we should change the name to Not Cut and Light.
That's what Ish calls it.
Not Cut and Light.
Not Cut and Light.
But that will be coming out in July, so we'll send you guys up some to try, and we'll jump on this summer for sure. And one of the things you guys have my wheels turning just now. So being that you're a part of the TPA, Ish and Panda, they reached out to us, and we were talking about doing a TPA event. So the first weekend in October, we're putting together a TPA event here in Pensacola. Being that you guys are all about the wrestling scene as well, Pensacola's got a lot of heritage in wrestling out here.
So absolutely.
You guys want to think about coming down in October and maybe getting a couple of your connections to come out and maybe do a meet and greet or something, because it's gonna be a good time.
I mean, it's a doable thing for sure. We just have to plan it out right.
Now, is that going to be from Friday to Sunday or Friday to Monday? How's that work?
It's going to be the meet and greet. It's going to be that Thursday, which is October 1st. And we have a new brewery that just opened up down here that has agreed to have us down there for the meet and greet. Great spot. And then the event starts Friday, Saturday, and then everybody can travel back home on Sunday.
Sounds like a plan to us. Where he's putting it in his calendar. So, guys,
that's definitely something to do.
Coming on, Pedro. We appreciate you coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck at your events today. Hopefully, they all have a great turnout, because if they haven't had your cigars and this is their first event, they're not going to be disappointed. That's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we're excited. They're both. One is a charity event. Jameson is going to be there hosting it, and we're going to be doing our cigars. My brother's down in Pensacola Beach at Patio O'Leary's, which is a well-known Irish bar here in town. Being that St. Patty's Day is just a couple of days away, we did pick up some of Ish's Irishmen, so you got to have the Irishman during these events. So
absolutely,
I can imagine my brother's probably going to have less hair and less beard by the time that event's over, because he's just going to be young. But we're excited. It's going to be a good couple of days.
Guys, we appreciate you coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Wish you very well in the cigar world. And if you haven't had any Haze Great cigars,
go get them.
Go get them. Go to the website. Go to our website. Go to their website. Go down to the bottom of their website. It'll tell you where you can get them. And on that note, guys, thank you for coming on. Go handle your business, because we're going to handle the rest of ours. appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy St. Patty's Day. Top of the morning to you all, and have a great day.
You too, guys. Appreciate y'all. Take care.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day, guys.
Thank you.
So, on that note, let's talk real fast. How many minutes we got left?
We got about 7-8 minutes.
So let's talk real fast about ACW.
I did touch on that. I touched a little bit on it earlier with the main event and the three-way for the heavyweight title and the women's belt.
Touch on Leo Sparrow.
No, I didn't get it too into it because, like I said, our guests were already in the waiting room.
Okay.
So I wanted to get them on as quick as possible.
Guys, we're going to talk real fast about ACW. So if you haven't watched ACW, it was a 6-man tournament.
A 6-man scramble match, I guess, if you want to call it that, for the new ACW Cruiserweight title.
Yes. And
which, actually, if you give me a second
y'all
here.
that don't know who the winner is, it was Leo Sparrow with his new manager.
Smart Mark,
the lawyer.
Smart Mark Sterling.
So we're going to see if we can pull it up.
Well, I'm not going to be able to pull up the whole show because they are fixing it. There were some issues at the venue. But what I do want to show you is
the new title,
the Cruiserweight belt, which I'm very happy that they decided to open up a Cruiserweight division. But that is, let's bring that up. And let's make that the full screen. That is the new beautiful ACW Cruiserweight Championship. That belt has that, it's not over the top. It's got the nice old school feel to it.
Correct.
Even though there wasn't a Cruiserweight division around in the older days.
Correct.
But it still has that old school style feel. I personally like the belt. A lot of their belts have that old school style.
Correct.
Now, not only do you have that, but then you have your inaugural champ here.
First time champ.
Which is Leo Sparrow. Again, that belt is beautiful. But congratulations to Leo Sparrow on his big win for the Cruiserweight belt. Also, let's touch on this as well. A new inductee into the MJN Mid-Hudson Civic Center Hall of Fame, the Macho Man Randy Savage, will be going into the Hall of Fame in May.
Along with the promoter, ACW Tag Team Champions, and along with Machoverse.
Well, he'll be going in Machoverse, and the Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, will be in the house to induct him into the MJN Hall of Fame, which is a very well-deserved recognition for both of those guys. I mean, Jay's been doing the Black Machismo gimmick, Jesus, for at least a decade.
Yes.
If not longer.
Yes.
It's been retired not retired, but it's been dormant for a little while now. But if you weren't around for the prime version of that, you missed a lot because that was a huge tribute to Macho and what he did for the business with Jay doing it, and Macho actually gave him that gimmick.
Correct.
I mean, listen, like I said, get Triller TV. I can explain it to you. I can tell you how great it was. Well, no, it's actually $7.99.
$7.99.
But you get access to GCW, all the ACW catalog, Memphis Wrestling, OVW. I mean, everything you can think of wrestling-wise is on there for independence. Go get it. Go watch the show. I believe they're uploading a new version because they had some technical issues at the venue, but they will be doing that. So on that note, guys, we're going to call it a day. We will see you next week with Cayman Cigar Company and more wrestling talk.
I am the big dog. He is the Vanilla Gorilla, and this has been Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. Talk to y'all later.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.